Horror games. They fuel me. I love being so tense and panicked that my normal line of reasoning kinda just flies out the window. Alien Isolation, Amnesia, Resident Evil, The Coma, and one of my favorites, Outlast. Outlast had a certain charm to it that even now makes me happy. It's you, alone in a psychiatric hospital, full of inmates who have been driven insane from torture and medical experiments by an unethical group known as Murkoff, while they try to control a sentient swarm of nanites known as the Wall Rider. I think Outlast worked so well back in 2013 because it was different and it worked well with what it was given. You couldn't fight back, which is something that not a lot of games at the time did in this genre. There were a lot of intense and graphic things as well. Mutilation, both to player and characters, lots of nudity, and personally it made a 15-year-old me wonder if shit like this did actually happen in our world. Having grown up, I now know that yes, that is what happens. Then Outlast 2 came along and shook things up somewhat, but not by much. We still had our night vision, still couldn't fight back, and while the main enemies of this one are the cult, the true bad guys are still Murkoff, hiding behind the scenes and pulling strings. Outlast 2 was trippy, extremely trippy, to the point that a lot of people are still not entirely convinced that the ending, let alone most of the game in general, even happened. And it was a great game, but we're not here to discuss that today. But a reminder before we actually start talking though, I'm not a reviewer. I'm a guy who likes games and likes to talk about them. That is all. Do not take my words as gospel, please. Play these games yourself and form your own opinions. But now that that's out of the way, let's talk about why you should play the Outlast Trials. For starters, the Outlast Trials is a prequel to the first game and set in 1959. While the game itself is super fun, the implications for the series are even better. It directly sets up the events of the first game, while also leading the series in possible new directions. Project MKUltra is directly referenced in Outlast, and the trials we go through are slowly brainwashing us and setting up sleeper cell agents to enact plans that Murkoff have formulated for unknown reasons. It's all very interesting, and them giving the series multiple avenues to explore makes it even better. I hope they do more with it later on in the series, but for now let's talk about the game itself. For starters, the game can be pretty tense. It creates a lot of moments like this.
Let's create a solution for cool every time she speaks.
There they are, Daddy!
And this.
Fuck's sake, man.
And this.
There's a fucking flamethrower on your own leg.
Hey, Pookie.
That's awkward.
Oh no! Oh no!
Come on, Dr. Futterman. Let's teach them some manners.
Why am I getting this fucking thing?
The game can get chaotic. It keeps me on edge, and it makes me excited in a way only horror games can make me. Add a friend to that, and oddly enough, the results are almost doubled here, usually adding another factor to worry about and another layer of strategy. Speaking of friends, this is a co-op game. Why is this a little crazy? Well, creating a horror game is difficult enough. You have to create tension, fear, a reason to run, and a reason to care to run. But add another person to that and it gets a lot harder. The more humans in a game, the less terrified you are, the less tense, the less pressure you feel to survive. Take Dead Space 3 or Resident Evil 5 and 6 as examples. Who cares if I'm being chased when someone is telling fart jokes? However, it can also lead to some moments where the panic is higher, the risks are bigger, and the stupidity is at an all-time low. However, it can also lead to moments like this.
Damnable.
It's gonna be the sloppiest of toppy.
Listen now.
No, he's trying to piss me off.
Oh god.
Can this be part of the video, Alex?
So besides keeping the scares intact despite being co-op, what else does this game do so well to keep faith with its predecessors? Well, it kept the nudity. There's dicks for days. It also kept the gore and shock factors up. She's fine, YouTube, I swear. Which is insane to me considering how much of it there is. You think they would have been hit with some sort of rating violation? Outlast has always been known for its shock value and over-the-top gore, and there's no shortage of that here, and I'm honestly really fucking thankful for them for refusing to change it. Graphically, this game is amazing. It looks beautiful in a disgusting and rotted way. Aesthetically, being here would require several tetanus shots, areas covered in grime and broken glass, blood and shit everywhere, a literal river of blood in one area. The look of this game fits perfectly in the universe, and it stays with me long after I've ended my sessions. The disgusting and littered trial areas directly oppose the sterile environment of the sleep room, and I'm sure there's some kind of meaning to it, but fuck is it memorable for as simple as it is. The sound design is also of great note here. Stepping on glass feels chunky, hearing doors opening and closing, the direction it's coming from, enemies talking to themselves in their footsteps on the wood or concrete, or sometimes even when they walk on glass. Hell, even the lobby sounds haunting. The near faint humming of machinery, the woman over the speaker telling you to trust in the therapy, and the sound of others, just like you, running around, scurrying like rats in a cage. Oddly enough, there's not much actual music in this game for me to comment on. Aside from the main menu theme, I can't really recall a moment where I can hear any actual music playing. Sure, there's snippets of a tune, maybe some whistling, sure, but there's no actual music. Now that I think about it, it's a little eerie to me, actually. However, I can say that the main menu theme itself is haunting and eerie, noticeably sinister, but catchy. The trials themselves all vary in intensity and difficulty. Trials themselves usually last anywhere between 25 minutes to an hour if you're doing it for the first time. These include going through a mock jail to kill a whistleblower labeled as a snitch, to running through a toy factory and covering a sexual deviant in hot wax before setting him on fire. And then there are challenges, which are much shorter than trials and much smaller map-wise, but still just as enjoyable. These include feeding fake children soup made from bleach, grinding bodies up, or burning sex toys. I'm not really sure how that last one is correlated to basically anything else in the game, but it's there. Each map varies not only in layout, but also in aesthetic, challenges, goals, and obstacles, providing their own blend of sadomasochism that only serves to stray you further from reality, from jails to courthouses, fairgrounds and malls to orphanages and inner-city streets. The Murkoff Corporation has spared no expense in showing you just how rotted they want you to see the world. For enemies, you have pouncers, little assholes who hide in various spots and attack you when you come into close proximity of them. Your basic grunts who walk around and can chase you, grab you, and attack you, and they talk to themselves a lot. Pushers who will chase you and affect you with psychosis, fully depleting your sanity meter if they get the chance, more on that later, and can do health damage as well. Big grunts who deal 2 blocks of health worth of damage and suck ass, but they're somewhat slow and easy to evade if you know where to run. Mimics, enemies who take a variation of the name of the player and will stab you if you get close, causing some confusion and sometimes double checks to see if the person in front of you is a player. And finally, your level-specific enemies. Coil, a highly sexual and highly violent man dressed in police attire and wielding a shock baton and a real nasty attitude. Mother Gooseberry, a woman with a Dr. Futterman puppet on her hand that she gives voice to. She also has a drill coming out of its mouth, and it constantly insults her. Next is Franco Barbie, a Louisiana ex-gangster with the mind of a child and the anger to match. Only this child carries a sawed-off shotgun, has live ammunition, and is probably drugged out of his fucking mind. The Crest twins, Otto and Aurora, conjoined twins as a result of both incest and toxic contamination. These two chase players, one throwing chemicals that causes a visual distortion and vomiting, giving the other one, Otto, just enough time to get you with a circular saw. And finally, Lilia, a Russian orphan turned violent priestess with a love for ambushing and hiding in plain sight. Don't take your eyes off of the mannequins. One of them has a pulse. All of the Prime assets are dangerous and should not be taken lightly, but it's the combination of them, the common enemies, the traps, and the environment that makes everything so chaotic and frantic. So, besides noise, light, health, and enemies, you also have a fifth thing to worry about: psychosis. Step on a mine? Psychosis. Open a container and it's rigged? Psychosis. Let a pusher grab you? Psychosis. Psychosis sucks, for many reasons. Chief among them is the Skinnerman? I don't know. Who only appears when your bar is empty and consistently deals damage to you. The only way to stop this is by filling the bar back up, either through enough time or by using an antidote. It also sucks because it makes your vision wonky, noises get weird, and sometimes when you're opening certain doors or getting yourself into lockers, he jump scares you. He is the only serious issue besides that, though. To help you with all these trials and tribulations, you also have rigs, prescriptions, and amps. Rigs are your special friends. There are 6 at the time of recording. X-ray, which allows you to see enemies, and with upgrades allows you to see them more clearly, allows you to see items as well, and share certain information with your teammates. Stuns are projectiles that explode and stun the enemy on impact. Upgrades allow you to stun for longer and even refill stamina and your battery if you or your allies get hit. Sleep mines have essentially the same effect as stuns, however, they are placed instead of thrown and can create a smoke effect. Upgrades allow you to place them faster and allows them to be used 2 times instead of the initial 1. Barricade rigs can lock down doors. Upgrades allow for faster deployment, withstanding more hits from enemies and being able to place 2 instead of 1. Jammers that hack gates, locks, traps, and even the secret door, as well as revive yourself or a teammate once per trial when upgraded. And finally, my personal favorite, the heals, an area of effect item that heals teammates, obviously. When upgraded, it allows for a wider area of healing, heals psychosis, which completely negates the need for antidotes, and slows down any enemies in range. Prescriptions are up next, and these things are great, as they're a permanent passive. Things like holding an extra item, longer battery life, and being able to slide. You can have all 23 active at the exact same time, so you never have to worry about which prescriptions you need to have ready, and they're permanent, so buying one means you have it forever. And amps are nifty little tools that change things up, makes it easier on you while you're on the trials. Things like slippers, which make it so glass no longer crunches under your feet, or invisibility so you can peek out of hiding spots without being caught, or something as simple as starting a trial with a random item. Don't like how you look? That's fine. You can change your character's looks, shirts, pants, rigged suit, and which pair of goggles were drilled into your brain. You know, I may want the red ones. Thanks, Doc. Not happy yet? You can also customize your room to suit your taste. Remember, you're gonna be here for a while, might as well make it homely. While you're in the sleep room, feel free to play one of the mini games here. Arm wrestling, chess, tennis, Stroop test, chess upstairs, all to keep your mind and body working in perfect order for the Murkoff Corporation. So why do I love this game and why should you play it? Well, if you like horror games like Outlast 1 and 2 and also want a new game to play with your friends, this might just be the game for you. It's nice, tense cat and mouse action with some quality gameplay. And hey, if you only ever played Outlast for the over-the-top gore and violence, well, this game has you covered, literally and metaphorically. There's shock value, lore, mystery, threads that can tie the games and comics to each other, and is likely setting the stage for Outlast 3. The series' mainstays are here too, that being sexual shock factor, religious criticism, and the ever-present Murkoff Corporation here to ruin any sparks of joy you may have ever had. They've recently introduced invasions too. You become the enemy, stalk and hunt random people or your friends, but the enemies will still want their pound of flesh, and they don't care if it's from you or them. Invaders also have their own set of perks, and amps react differently in invasions, creating a whole new layer to the game if you allow yourself to be invaded at all, as it is an optional piece of content. Now, that's not to say that the game is perfect. There are some problems, the doors being finicky about being closed, enemies love to stalk objectives way too much for my taste, and the solo reagent release test is a bit too easy if not a bit tedious. But overall, the game is good. It's solid, and I don't deal with nearly the amount of scuff and bullshit that I do from other games. And that's all I have for you guys today. The game is phenomenal, and they're constantly updating it. I hope you'll give it a try, honestly. You can pick up a copy easy. It's on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. I'll see you in the next video, or maybe a stream on the weekends, who knows. Join the Discord. We can all be stupid together, and I keep some behind-the-scenes stuff in there. Finally, a shout out to these people. I wouldn't be where I am without them. Thank you all.